Hello friends, today our topic is the mean variance and standard deviation for the continuous random variables. Previously in the video lectures already we have discussed about the probability distribution for the random variables which are discrete type and also continuous type. And in the continuous type already we have found that is for the probability density function and also the density curve. So today we are discussing about the mean variance and standard deviation for the continuous random variables. So when we are looking at the expected value, that means the expectation, that is the Ex or the mean, that is mu, and standard deviation, and where it is written as var of x, that is for variance, and for standard deviation that is sigma, which one is plus of square root of variance of x. For discrete random variables, where capital X is the random variable, which one is of discrete type. Now here the expected value, that is mu or Ex, is a measure of location or central tendency. The standard deviation sigma is a measure of spread of scale, and the variance, that is sigma square or the square of the standard deviation, and written by the notation var x, and sometimes only Vx is the square of the standard deviation. Now expected value of any continuous random variable. Let capital X be the continuous random variable with range closed interval a and b. That means a less than equal to x less than equal to b, and probability density function fx. So the expected value of capital X is defined by a to b x into fx, where fx is equal to probability density function. Now if we recall the discrete random variable, the formula was simply x into px summation. So the discrete formula says to take a weighted sum of the values xi of capital X, that is random variable, where the weights are the probabilities. And we can also already told that the probability density function is for the continuous random variable. Now fx dx represents the probability that x is an infinitesimal range of width dx around x. Thus we can interpret the formula for Ex as a weighted integral. In the case of discrete, that was a weighted mean, and here that is weighted integral of the values x of capital X or the random variable, where the weights are the probabilities fx dx. As before, the expected value is also called the mean or average, as already we have told. So whatever be the theory is, now we are proceeding to the example to prove out the theories. The first one example, let x is the uniform distribution 0 to 1. What is the uniform distribution? Now that means it is the ranges from 0 to 1. We have to find out the expected value of x. So x has a range, that is closed interval between 0 and 1, and the density function is here 1. So we can simply say expected value of x is equal to 0 to 1 x of dx, as like that means Ex already we have told that from a to b x of fx and dx. Here fx is equal to 1, a is equal to 0, b is equal to 1, fx is equal to 1. So that one is becoming 0 to 1 x of dx, that one. So after integration we are getting it as x square by 2 and from the range 0 to 1, and as usual the result is becoming 1 square by 2 minus 0 or half, and that is the answer or the expected value of x or the mean. So not surprisingly the mean is at the midpoint of the range. Suppose we are starting from 0 and here from 1, as that is the uniform distribution, so that means the middle portion half at the point is the we are getting the mean or the expected value just at the middle point. Okay, so the next example ask about the same, that is random variable x has been given and the range has been given as 0 2, and the density function has been given as 3 by 8 of x square. We have to find the expected value of x. So here ex is equal to x into fx dx. So that means we can write it as 0 to 2 x into fx, means that one has been given 3 by 8 of x square dx. So 3 by 8 we can take it as a constant, so we are writing it as a multiplier. So 0 to 2 and that is x cube of dx. So that one is 3 by 8 into x to the power 4 by 4 from 2 to 0, and the result is 3 by 8 into that is 2 to the power 4 by 4, or the result is like 3 by 8 into 16 by 4, or that one is 2, that one is 2. So the result is 3 by 2. Now if we look at the thing, that is from 0 to 2 the middle point is 1, but here we are getting the mean as 3 by 2 on the right hand side. So the question is, does it make sense that this x has mean is in the right half of its range? If we look at the graph here, yes, since the probability density increases as x increases over the range, the average value of x should be in the right half of the range. 1 is here, but in that make of the sensing that is not just the half portion or the half mass, but if we look at that portion, that is 1.5 or 3 by 2, now just like that both the side are having the same mass, so that's why mu is pulled to the right of the midpoint 1, because there is more mass to the right. So in that way also we can find out the expected value of x or the mean. Let's check another problem. Here the problem has been given, let x, that is exponential function of lambda, where lambda must be greater than 0. So find the mean. Here we have to use the integration by parts, where we are considering that u is equal to x and v dash is equal to lambda of e to the power minus lambda x. Here the range is x and that is belonging from 0 to infinity. If we look at the range here, the range is like that, that is closed on 0 and open on the infinity. Why? Because x, that is starting from 0, but that is open on the right hand side, that means on the plus infinity. That's why it is written in that way, and its PDF is fx, that is lambda of e to the power minus lambda x, that is the exponential form. So if we use the integration by parts, once again u is x and v dash is taken as that one. If we look at the integration by parts formula, that one is just like that, is equal to u into v minus u dash v of dx. So here when v dash is equal to that one, so we can find out v is equal to integration of v dash x. So that one is just integration of lambda into e to the power minus lambda x dx. Lambda as a constant, as a multiplier, so e to the power minus lambda x dx, and that is lambda by minus lambda and e to the power minus lambda x, and the result is here minus of e to the power minus lambda x. So that is our v. So here we can write in place of x, that is x, and in place of v, that is minus e to the power minus lambda x, that one, and that is also ranging from 0 to infinity. Next, the second part, minus u dash. U dash is equal to 1 as u equal to x, so that is 1. U dash is equal to 1, and v, that is minus of e to the power minus lambda x, so we can take it as plus and e to the power minus lambda x dx. So that one is becoming x into minus of e to the power minus lambda x 0 to infinity plus finally it must be minus, because after integration it is getting 1 by lambda, that is minus e to the power minus lambda x, and that is also from 0 to infinity. Now we have to know that when x tends to infinity, that x into e to the power minus x going to 0. As usual, e to the power minus lambda x is also tending to 0. So the final result after calculation we are getting, that is only 1 by lambda. So here we are putting the value of that one, and finally we are getting the mean as 1 by lambda, and 1 by lambda is the place point here according to the graph. So next, what are the properties of mean for the continuous random variable? The properties of Ex for the continuous random variables are the same as like the discrete one. If capital X and capital Y are the random variables on a sample space, suppose that is, then E of x plus y is written as Ex plus Ey, and that is known as the linearity property. If a and b, small a and small b, are the constants, then E of ax plus b can be written as a into Ex plus b. That is the second property of linearity. Let's we discuss about the variance. Now let capital X be a continuous random variable with mean, that is mu. So the variance of capital X is variance of x is equal to E of x minus mu whole square. And what are the properties of variance? These are the exactly same as in the discrete case also. So if x and y are the independent then variable, then variance of x plus y is equal to linearity variance of x plus variance of y. But for constants a and b, variance of ax plus b, as that is a constant, it can be written as a square into variance x. Once again, variance of ax plus b, where a and b are the constants, can be in the form a square into variance of x. And according to the theorem, the variance x can also be written in very small notation, that is E of x square minus E x square, or it can be also written in that way, e to x, or E of x square minus mu square. For the property 1, note carefully, the requirement of x and y are independent. For property 3 gives a formula for variance that is often easier to use in the hand calculations. The property of 2 and 3 are essentially identical as those in the discrete case. We are not providing the proofs of the properties here. So let us discuss the theory with the example. As in the example of the mean finding, there let capital X is the uniform distribution between the range 0 and 1. We have to find out the variance of X. So already we have found there that mu is equal to half. So variance of X is equal to E of X minus mu. That means integration of X minus half whole square. So if we do that, that is 0 to 1, X minus half whole square means X square minus 2 into X into half plus half whole square, that means 1 by 4 of dx, or that one is 0 to 1 x square minus x plus 1 by 4 of dx, or after integration we are getting x square by 2, sorry, x cube by 3 minus x square by 2 plus 1 by 4 of x from 0 to 1. As for 0, that is omitted. So we are getting 1 cube by 3 minus 1 square by 2 plus 1 by 4, and that give us the result as 1 by 12. So that is the variance. Let's the next question, that is already we have x, that is the exponential function of lambda or the exponential distribution. We have to find out the variance of x and the sigma x, that is the standard deviation. So according to the Ex, we are using here that is from 0 to infinity as the range, and x into lambda of e to the power minus lambda x dx is equal to 1 by lambda, that already we have found from the mean, and e of x square is equal to x square into lambda of e to the power minus lambda x dx. Same using the integration by parts as already we have shown for the mean case. That means here we are getting the result as 2 by lambda square. So from the property we are getting variance of x is equal to e of x square minus e of x whole square. That one is 2 by lambda square minus 1 by lambda square, or 1 by lambda square is our variance. And for the standard deviation, that is simply the plus of 1 by lambda square root, and that is 1 by lambda. So this is the way how we can find out the mean, variance and standard deviation for the continuous random variables.